it's got to be clear. It's like, man, this is just sustainable energy cars. It can be the fastest cars, it can be the safest cars, it can be the most kick-ass cars in every way. And that's why we did the Plaid. It's just to show hands down, this is the way to go. Now with with Plaid, we've managed to break the 2-second barrier, if you will. No production car has ever done 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds. So, it's also got a longer range. Even with the tri-motor high performance, it's got almost a 400-mile range. And in the dual motor configuration, it's got a 412-mile range. So, and we've also improved the supercharging speed, so you can get 187 miles of range in 15 minutes. So, and then in terms of additional stats, it's also the fastest production car to complete a quarter mile, so 9.23 seconds. It's got a 200-mile-an-hour top speed, over 1,000 horsepower, almost 400-mile range. Like I said, charges so fast, it'll be probably done by the time you have a coffee, basically. So we have an all-new battery pack. And then something we're really proud of is the new carbon-sleeved rotors for the motor. So this is the first time that there's, to the best of our knowledge, there's been a production electric motor that has a carbon overwrapped rotor. So this is a super hard thing to do because carbon and copper have at very different rates of thermal expansion. So in order to do a carbon overwrapped rotor, you've got to wind it at extremely high tension. It's a very hard thing to do. We actually had to design the machine that makes the rotor. So no such machine existed before. It also means we can have the electromagnetic field be super efficient and have a tight gap even at super high RPM. And it's single speed from 0 to 200 miles an hour. So it's just, the RPM is so crazy that just the centrifugal force wants to expand the rotor. So the carbon overwrap actually holds the rotor, basically holds the rotor together. It's like madness. I mean, this is really an amazing work of engineering. Yeah, there's just never been an electric motor like this. I mean, you can pick this motor up with your hands, and it can accelerate a 2-ton car to 60 miles an hour in 2 seconds. I mean, that kind of power to weight is insane. Yeah. So it goes. It goes up to 20,000 RPM and maybe a little more. So we also were able to achieve the lowest drag coefficient of any car ever made. So, yeah. We also have the latest and greatest in heat pump, which is basically the HVAC system for the car. It's 30% better cold weather range and requires 50% less energy for cabin heating in freezing conditions. Yeah, so you'll see very little degradation in cold weather. And the radiator is twice as big for heat rejection. So you'll be able to actually do back-to-back 0 to 60s, go on the track, just haul ass, and as you'll see tonight, this car is just going to do over and over again, and it doesn't get winded. And then it's also engineered for maximum safety as well. So in fact, this is designed to be our aspiration for this car. It still has to be tested by the US government, but we think we can get the lowest probability of injury of any car ever tested. So I mean, with the Plaid Model S, what you have is a car that is faster quicker than any sports car, and like faster than any Porsche, safer than any Volvo, in the same car. That's insane. It's like, yeah. So I think once you drive the new Model S, it really feels like you're driving the future. As you can see, we changed the orientation of the main screen, so it's easier to watch movies and that kind of thing in landscape. Yeah, exactly. We have this yoke steering wheel, which is a little different, but I think once you try it, you'll think it's great. The visibility of the main screen is super clear, especially for autopilot. So you can see the entire panoramic view you can basically see the mind's eye of the car. So you can actually just literally walk up to the car, it senses that you're approaching, unlocks the car based on your phone. It just basically pairs with your phone, knows that you're coming to the car, opens the door, extends the handle, you sit down, and you just drive. You don't have to press the drive or anything like that. The car knows you want to drive. It figures like, yeah, good guess, you know. So, and then it's using the autopilot system to know where the obstacles are. So obviously, if there's something in front of you, you want to go backwards, and if there's something in back of you, you want to go front, most likely. And then it will adapt to your needs. So if it sees that you're always doing this, you're changing to reverse or forward in particular situations, it'll try to remember that and geocode it to that location. So then you won't have to do it in the future. It will just keep minimizing the amount of input that you need to do until the car just reads your mind. We moved the interior so that the front IP is actually slimmer and thinner, so we were able to move the front seats forward, giving more room to the back seat, and we reclined the back seat more and reduced the interior trim. So basically, the current Model S, the back seat is not amazing, but the new one, it's actually a legit back seat. I'd say it's like it's good. So you can. I think it's quite a comfortable back seat, and you've got also a rear screen, and you can control everything from the back. It's got dual inductive chargers for your phones in the back, and dual inductive in the front. And it's a 36-watt power supply, so you can actually charge like your, laptop or anything. Basically, it's a 36-watt USB-C. It can also pair with multiple Bluetooth devices simultaneously. So multiple people could be controlling music, or somebody could be playing a video game. So you can do multiple wireless things simultaneously. And then, similar to the Model 3 and Y, instead of having air vents, we use intersecting columns of air. And we just vary the speed of the air. So you don't have to. There's no vents that you can see, and you can just touch the screen and move the screen around, and it'll just move the air wherever you want it. And the air is much more diffuse. It just feels like an invisible air conditioning system. And then the 17-inch touchscreen it feels like a movie theater. The sound is incredible. So you can really, it's like a home theater experience. So if you're sitting somewhere waiting, or for whatever reason, or at a supercharger, you can just catch up on your favorite Netflix show, or iTunes, or whatever the case may be, YouTube. And of course, you can also play video games. We have an all-new sound system designed by Tesla Audio, and we have acoustic glass throughout the car, so the car is very quiet when going down the highway. Even at very high speeds, like you're doing 100 miles an hour, it's still quiet. This is a Tesla-designed codec, so it will keep uploading improved versions of the sound system. It's completely software-defined, so we'll keep tweaking it and dynamically adjusting to whether you're using streaming, or whether it's coming via Bluetooth from your phone, or different streaming services. It'll actually, and if the data rate changes, it'll adapt that. So basically, it always sounds good. And that's just going to get better. So, and then we've got an all-new UI. Okay, does everybody here want waypoints? All right, fine, we'll do waypoints. God damn it. But obviously, it also interfaces with your calendar. So if you just, if you just get in the car and you just sort of swipe down from Navigate, you don't have to enter anything, just swipe down. The car will automatically figure out if you want to go to home, work, or what's on your calendar. So it'll default to calendar priority, and obviously if you're at home and it's kind of a weekday or whatever, it assumes you're going to go to work. So you just swipe down, it automatically navigates to work, and checks traffic and gives you an optimal route. So it's just like a nice little easy thing. And you can actually set it to automatically generate the most probable route. So you just get in, and it's going to guess what route you want, and you don't even have to press anything. Yeah. So I think there's never been a car that has state-of-the-art computing technology, state-of-the-art infotainment, where this is literally at the level of a PlayStation 5. So, yeah, I mean, if you think about the future where the car is often in autopilot or full self-driving mode, then entertainment is going to become increasingly important. So you're going to want to watch movies, play games, use the internet, just little things you want to do if you're not driving. And this is actual PlayStation 5 level performance. Yes. It can play Cyberpunk. So this is somebody playing the car right now. This is playing live. Yeah. So it's like pretty great, So have fun in the game. It's gonna be great. So, all right. So high frame rate will do 60 frames a second with state-of-the-art games. Yeah. So I think this really illustrates the difference. It maintains 1,000 horsepower all the way up to 200 miles an hour. This car crushes. All right, and deliveries begin now. So.